In this video, I'll be showing you how I built my free shoe rotation, all for the price of less than a brand new Alphafly. So the first shoe that I'll be talking about is the version 1 of the Alphafly. So these usually retail at around £250–260, which is around the same dollar point for those in the US. They were the first sort of shoe with the pods here, you can see just there, that Nike had brought out, and the shoe that Eliud Kipchoge wore for the Berlin World Record. So those were the prototype version that he wore, but they've been publicly available since about 2018, 2019. But I have only recently got my hands on these, late 2022, when they did fortunately drop into my price bracket to buy. So these I did pick up for £90 from the Nike outlet in Birmingham, thanks to Stuart Beckett. Beckett runs on his Instagram and on his YouTube channel. He did pick up a pair of these while he was over there in Cannock, so I'm very grateful that he got a pair of these, and he set me back £90. So these shoes I have worn for a couple of races. So I've worn them firstly in the Helsby half marathon. So that was a half marathon that I did in January time. So I gave them a test out there. What I found was that they were very good on undulating courses. So I think the pods and the springiness in the shoe really helps me noticeably go uphill and save a lot of energy on those hills. And with doing a hilly half marathon, this was a perfect shoe to use. I then decided to also use it for Manchester Marathon, which I've got the t-shirt on today, and they did help me to a 4-minute PB there at Manchester Marathon, running 2:53 in April of this year there. So yeah, I'd recommend this shoe for probably marathon running. It's not so good as responsive on if you've got turns to do. It's very good for going in a straight line and being really good on your muscles there, and good for going up hills, but they are a little bit bulky if you're doing a shorter distance race. Now the next shoe I'm going to talk about is the Vaporfly version 2. So these ones I did pick up off the Nike website. I managed to get them at just a shade over £100 when they were reduced on the Nike outlet there. They've probably been on the market for a couple of years before that, and there is a newer version out now which do retail at close to that mid-200s price range, which I'd never pay for a pair of shoes myself. So yeah, these were from the Nike online, straight from there. Yeah, I really like these as a shoe. I've used these, I took them when I went training in Spain in January of this year, so I used them for a lot of the track work out there, and I wore them in the Santa Pola half marathon where I got a 2-minute PB running 1:21 there. So I think they're a really good shoe for probably 10k half marathon, maybe even 5k as well. Compared to the Alphafly, I really like them, that they're a little bit more responsive. You can turn a lot better in them, and they don't feel like you're too high up either, even though they've got quite a big thick stack height in there. They're not quite as high as the Alphafly. So yeah, that's the Vaporfly version 2. And last but not least, it's probably the shoe that I wear mostly, is the Nike Invincible 2. So there is a Invincibles 3 out now. I don't think I had a pair of the original Invincibles, but these are, yeah, really solid shoe. They've got a lot of foam at the back, a lot of cushioning, and as I said in one of my earlier videos when I first got a pair of these, but they do feel like you're running on marshmallows, like on pillows or something. It's really, really cushioned, and probably not if you need a bit more support around your ankles, but I don't really need that, so I'm quite happy to take the cushioning and the impact off my joints that this shoe does give me. So I've been getting on with these really well for the last 6 months or so. And the price point of these, they do tend to retail at around the £160 mark, but I did pick up this version of them. Thanks again to Stuart Beckett. He picked one up for £50 from the Nike outlet in Birmingham. So that brings us to a total of the £50 for this, the £100 for the Vaporfly, and the £90 for the Alphafly brings us up to £240. So we've got £10–20 change, so we maybe get ourselves a running cap or some sunglasses or some socks on top of this. So 3 shoes for the price of just one of the Vaporflies or the Alphaflies when they were first released. So quite happy with the frugality of this, and also having a well-rounded shoe rotation. So bit more on these Invincibles. I do use them mainly for the easy runs and more of the bulk of my mileage in the week. I even use them in some sessions when I don't really want to I want to hide that effect of wearing my race shoes in a race. So I don't want to really be wearing my race shoes in a session, because I'll get too used to that and then I won't get that little boost on race day when I'm using them and relying on them in sessions all the time. So do the bulk of them running in these, but they do wear out pretty quick, to be honest. So I don't know if you can see, I've got a chunk took out the back there, and they do lose the cushioning a little bit, so the sole's coming off slightly. It's splitting on this ZoomX foam there, so probably done around 500–600 miles in these, which I'm due a new pair probably on them. Thanks a lot for watching this week's video, and please do let me know in the comments of what shoe rotations you've gone for. If you've managed to get the Nikes any cheaper than I have done, I'd be really willing to know where you've got them from, or if you're using any other brands that you like to bring into your rotation. Just as a bit of more context, I do wear a few Adidas shoes. I've worn a Brooks pair as a mileage pair, but mainly Nike and Adidas are the two I've swapped between. So I've been a really big fan of the Adidas Boston series, so particularly up until Boston 9, before they got the really chunky stack heights. I used to use them as race shoes and good long run shoes there. So yeah, those Adidas Bostons and the Adi Zero Pro, the original version, I've got a couple of pairs of them. So those are the extra things in my rotation. I'd be loving to hear about everyone else's rotation, and we'll see you in the next video.